with him, and what do you think of the way he performed at the end of the game?
I don't think we really had a big celebration, but this one felt good. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it like, oh no, we're used to this. Like, yeah, we're used to winning, but this one felt amazing. It's obviously a great team we just played, and to come on the road, just losing Kevin, Steph with 0 points in the first half, and to get this win, that one felt amazing. And Steph down the stretch was incredible. Like everything we did for probably the whole fourth quarter was around him. And he made the right plays, he made shots, but you got to give a lot of credit to Clay. Clay, he pretty much kept us in the game. We had nothing going except for Clay and Andre. Andre stepped up, and that was big. Then our entire bench, everybody who stepped on the floor came in and gave us great minutes. And so, being, just the way it all unfolded, just getting contributions from everybody, this one felt really good. I know that was a long-ass answer. I apologize, but it felt amazing.
Draymond, a lot has been made about how the Warriors bench isn't as strong or as good as previous years, but can you talk about how that strength in numbers translates to now and what that bench looks like now?
We've all heard that all year about our bench isn't as strong, and obviously we're not as deep. Everyone said that. Tonight everyone came off that bench, proved everybody wrong, and it couldn't have happened at a better time for us. Just like I said, with Kevin going out, there's not one person on this team that can make up for what we lose with Kevin, because someone can make it up on the offensive end, and then do you do it on the defensive end? If you make it up on the defensive end, can you do it on the offensive end? He brings so much to this team, and for guys to step up the way they did, everybody who came off that bench, it was big for us. And so, people can say what they want, but when the moment gets big, we got guys who step up.
Mr. Green, did it feel like you went back to the 2015-2016 season with the offense that you all had to run without Kevin being in the game?
There were some times where it felt like that, where it's just, a lot of pace, a lot of movement, just trying to push the tempo. With Kevin, you just kind of got that luxury of, you can kind of be lazy because you always know you can just throw the ball to K and he's going to go get a bucket. To not have that luxury, it's a big change for us. Nonetheless, everybody adjusted, and it wasn't pretty. This game wasn't pretty for us by any standards. I don't think we played great at all, but down the stretch we did, and so that was big. But it definitely was a little throwback for us for sure.
Hey, Draymond, to your left, Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. That team, the Rockets, they've built themselves to beat the Warriors. They've talked about it openly, everything they've done the last couple years. This was their best chance, maybe, with KD out and in a tight series. Is that part of the reason for the satisfaction that you guys felt coming off the court today?
I think so. All year. For years now, but definitely this year, like we've listened to them all year talk about how they're waiting to beat us and they want to run it back, and Chris Paul was hurt. You got to give them some credit, though. It take a lot of, I don't know if I can use the word I want to use, so let me think of one to fill it in. Take a lot of heart to just kind of throw it out there that, like, yeah, we're beating them, because it adds pressure. You got to give them credit. There's not many people that would be willing to say, yeah, we're going after them. Like, you just kind of quietly do it. And so, you got to give them guys a lot of credit for that. And like I said, this still wasn't an easy series. So it was tough, but we're able to figure it out, and we're able to come away with the win, and that's all that really matters.
Draymond, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. When Clay has these kind of games like this, what do you notice about his mentality?
He's just in attack mode. I kind of had a feeling Clay would have a game like this when, in the first quarter, I saw him try to shoot the ball from like 40 feet. He's like, I didn't shoot it a couple times, and then he finally shot one. Like, he's just extremely confident in attack mode, and when he's attacking like that, obviously we know he's one of the greatest shooters in the world, and so, that was real big for us, and when we needed it most. Because, like I said, he carried us that first half, and he hit some timely buckets. Even that last three that he hit, that was huge. That kind of closed the game off for us. So, huge last couple games by Clay, and we needed them both. And with the way things played out for us.
Draymond, can you talk about the fact that you guys play to win and not to not lose? Just kind of how you guys approach the game.
I think there's it's funny you say that because there's a very fine line in playing to win and playing not to lose. Not to lose, you're kind of you're on your heels. You're just trying not to make a mistake. Playing to win, you're just out there going. You're trying to make plays. You're just free flowing. And so, and that's something that we always talk about with this team is fast, loose, and discipline. And that ties right into that. Just always being that way and playing to win the game. Playing not to lose can get in your way quite a bit.
Draymond, Reed Forgrave with CBS Sports. Considering the circumstances, KD's injury, DeMarcus's injury, what people said about your guys' bench, where do you rank this victory compared to other playoff victories during this run?
I mean, I'd have to really sit back. It's been 5 years now that we've been doing this. I'd have to really sit back and go through game by game in the playoffs to kind of figure out. One that pops out at me was when Steph came back in that game 4 in Portland and went nuts in fourth quarter and overtime. Obviously, winning the finals was always great. The couple of those games where KD hit those bombs in Cleveland, in those game 4s, I think it was, maybe game 3, was huge. But this one feels good. Because just all the circumstances that go into it. Like I said, a team that's said for years, we're built to beat them. Us. Then Kevin goes down and everyone not give us a chance. I hear we was the biggest underdog in the Steve Kerr era or something like that. You take all those things into account. This one feels amazing. If I said it otherwise, I'll be sitting here lying to you. It felt good. But we got a lot more work to do.
Draymond, Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Just talk about what Andre and Sean add to the team off the court as their veteran leadership, because we know you guys get a lot out of them.
They just kind of add that calming, they're just a calming presence for us. They come in, Andre's been starting, but it's just settle things down. Andre hitting big shots tonight. But off the court as well. I mean, even if you want to take it even a step further with having guys like that you can talk about investing your money with and different things, they just fill a lot of roles for guys on this team. And tonight they both were huge. I think Sean had a point there where, he probably scored 6-7 points in a row for us. I mean, it was really big moments from both of them, and at a time where we really needed it. But they've been kind of that steady piece for us for years now, and they're valuable to this team. I mean, their value to this team is you can't really quantify it. It's big. It's huge for us.
Tom Haberster, NBC Sports. Draymond, coming into this game, you guys knew how important it was not to foul and pick up fouls against this team. When Steph picked up his second foul, what was going through your mind as his teammate when he picked up his second foul in the first quarter?
You just kind of, disappointed because we know we need him on the floor, especially, like I said, with Kevin being out, DeMarcus out. That's, a lot of our offense is going to be based around Steph. So it was a bit frustrating, and not necessarily frustrated with Steph, just frustrated at the fact that he got 2 fouls. Knowing that we need everybody out there on the floor. We were able to overcome it, a large part to what Clay was doing out there, but everybody who came off the bench was giving us good minutes in those times that he was on the bench. And so just a real true testament, to guys staying ready. Steve always tell guys you never know when your chance is coming. Just stay ready. And it kind of gets cliche. I've been a guy who's been on the bench and someone telling you stay ready. And, you try to be professional and keep working, but it gets frustrating. Everybody on our bench has stayed ready, and it showed in a major way tonight.
Unbelievable game for all of the Warriors collectively. You heard Draymond there talking about how look at Andre Iguodala, and it's really symptomatic of what I wanted to discuss right after Coach D'Antoni came on. the realities, right? 3 times eliminated, 3 times at home. Mike is 43 and 44 in the playoffs. Adjustability and predictability, these aren't good abilities right now for the Rockets, because when we sit there, Curry in foul trouble didn't go at him. Why didn't they trap early? Gerald Green, 31 minutes total in the series. Seen him play too many minutes. I was saying when we watched the game, it looked like the ball was on fire.
Gerald Green got up 7 threes in 12 minutes.
Yes. 9 shots.
Who told him he was the go-to guy?
And by the way,
Analytics.
And by the way, put up the biggest shot of the game. The biggest shot for the Rockets of the game when they were still there, the 3, he took because he was put back on the floor. You have to question whether or not the Rockets, as they move forward, you can't take CP3's contract off. James Harden not going anywhere. Tucker's still there. Capella's signed.
How much?
The only thing you could change is leadership.
How much CP3 gonna get for the next?
A lot.
40 million per. Yeah, you stuck with that contract. You gonna keep that thing forever like luggage.
And for D'Antoni, it's the adjustments and crunch time. It's also, for me, is the body language on the bench, in the huddles. And we don't hear everything from the studio, but I just don't feel like he's making the right plays. And sometimes you got to make the plays, B. Wood. You got to make these adjustments. And some of these, I would say, play calling or just feels, and it might not work. But you also got to be willing to pull it and scrap it. And throughout the game, you got to keep going through it. And sometimes you got to play the game in your mind, but you're going into the game knowing there's no Kevin Durant. And if I get Steph Curry in the foul trouble, I love Iguodala. He comes out, he does what he does. He makes big shots, but he has to beat me. He has to take even more shots. Draymond has to take even more shots. You cannot allow Klay Thompson to pretty much keep the Warriors in the game with a Steph Curry with no points and 3 fouls. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, and then like we were in the back and we were kind of puzzled. In the second half, you know Steph Curry has 3 fouls. They didn't really run plays at Steph.
None.
And that's one of the things, you know, if he gets his 4th foul, he has to sit down. That's advantage you, especially without Kevin Durant playing. So these are some of the things and some of the questionable decisions that Mike D'Antoni made. Some things he's going to have to live with in the offseason. And then I think also in the offseason, he's going to have to look at the style of play that they play now. And I'm not saying scrap everything because they win a lot of games that way, but say, hey, maybe we have to unlock a little bit more of our game. Instead of just saying we play the 3-point line, the free throw line, and get layups, maybe you have to look for a couple more mid-range jumpers, especially from a guy like James. James can really get it done in the mid-range. At least he did early on in his career at OKC. James Harden was also a very good post-up player. So maybe you unlock his full game, and then you get away from some of the analytics. You still use the analytics, but you get away with some of the analytics and tie it in with common basketball sense.
Here's what makes it look worse, and this was so impressive to me, probably even more so to you guys, considering you know how difficult it is to make it look easy. Go look at the Warriors. Jerebko didn't make every shot, but at no point did he look like he didn't know where he was supposed to be or go. Made the right play, didn't rush shots. Jordan Bell hasn't played in I don't know since when. Came out, played under control, didn't take bad shots, knew where to give the ball. Looney, I said he looked like Al Horford in the first half, sitting in that pivot spot, going left, going right. Guys understand the system. That shows to me practice. It shows development. It shows the culture of you need to be ready. Right? Because you don't have to get ready if you are ready. That, to me, makes it look worse when you don't adjust, when guys make mistakes, and it looks erratic. Because the Warriors, to me, that tells you all. Everybody who came off the bench to me knew exactly where we were supposed to be.
It tells me those guys are getting it done and they're professionals. Steve Kerr said it is talent and also character. It's also their player development. You don't just walk into games and have these type of games. You've been practicing, been prepared, and waiting. And those guys are waiting. That means Steve Kerr talked about it. They usually go deep. They haven't been deep this entire regular season or playoffs. But when it was called upon, those guys came in and made the right play. And B. Wood knows this. The right play is just to make the right basketball play. And I go, B. Wood would say, that's okay, Smith. You missed a shot. Quentin Cook had a couple easy mid-range jumpers, but they were the right plays. And overall, throughout a game, if you keep making the right plays, it usually keeps yourself in the game. And then you have that guy named Steph Curry, bang, to take you home. And it was phenomenal to see Iguodala. It was phenomenal to see Steve Kerr's adjustments. It was disappointing for me because this is no Kevin Durant for the Golden State Warriors. and the Warriors won this series.
There's no such thing as the game really slowing down, but it looks like it does for the Warriors. Drebko, that one doesn't take a three, step inside, hit the shot. The lay for Livingston in the lane. Gerald Green and others for the Rockets seemed like it was moving fast. Give Harden and Paul some credit. They did play. Chris played his best game of the series.
These chances.
Played well.
Game 5, you should have won that one.
Yes.
When Durant goes out, you should have won this one, and you should have won Game 7. You didn't even get the chance to get to Game 7.
If they only had a healthy Melo. If they only had
Oh, come on, man. Leave Melo alone, man.
Well, I'm just saying.
I heard he's getting a reoccurring role in power this year.
Oh. You know, and then there's that. While Hayward turns the ball over, we'll turn it into some offense. Go to the break.
NBA Game Time is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right.